Hello, my name is Donal McMahon. I'm the Chief AI Officer at Lightspeed, and today I'm going to tell you about artificial intelligence in K through 12 education. And for those who don't know, AI is having a moment right now. To put it all in perspective, since November 30th, 2022, and the launch of ChatGPT, you can see on this red line here the growth over that period. It's grown to over 800 million users as of last month. And that's in 34 months. To put that into perspective, the combination of YouTube, Facebook, Google, and even the internet itself, it were only amounted to about half of that sort of growth in the first 34 months. So this is something we have not seen before. But another way, ChatGPT achieved 100 million users in 1 month. Google took about 6 years to get to that point. So pretty amazing, unprecedented growth. And we're going to go into K through 12 education, what's happening with AI in our space. But brief introduction to me, Irish originally, and did my undergrad master's in Ireland, was an assistant professor, went to Stanford to do my PhD in statistics and machine learning, worked at Google for about 8 years on Google Search Ads and commerce, and then more recently worked at Indeed for about 9 years on our data science and ML engineering teams, and then on our data platforms and AI platforms. I joined Lightspeed in August of 2025, and I'm really excited to work in supporting schools and keeping them safe to enable teaching and learning, especially in this AI. Education is personally really important to me. I have 3 kids in elementary school right now, and I come from a family of educators as well. Both my parents were teachers, and I have a sister who's an elementary school teacher and another who's a professor in university. So it's obviously close to my heart. And in the spirit of learning, and there's a lot of language around artificial intelligence or AI right now, and so I wanted to start with a quick primer. For those who don't know, artificial intelligence really is something very simple. It's just enabling computers to mimic human behavior, the way that they learn, to make decisions and recognize patterns. And it can be as simple as something like a light bulb that turns on at a pre-specified time every day, or it can be as complex as, or as advanced as a sentient robot who can touch, who can reason, and who can make decisions autonomously. Machine learning is just a subset of artificial intelligence. You might have heard of it in the context of predicting who would click on what search results on Google, or what movie recommendations should show in your Netflix. Deep learning is a more advanced version of machine learning, a subset of it, which actually uses neural networks or multi-layered neural networks to process raw data to mimic the way the human brain perceives. More recent models in Amazon predicting who would buy what product uses this, as do a lot of self-driving cars such as Waymo's. And here's the new kid on the block: generative AI. It's a subset of deep learning. It creates new content. That's what's different about it. It can be text, images, even code, or videos. It takes a ton of information, really all of the internet and much more. And it then uses neural net models to predict what the correct next word, next sentence, next image might be. You've also heard undoubtedly about AI agents or agentic AI in the last while. And really, agentic AI uses these generative AI models or these large language models under the hood. But they allow the autonomous pursuit of goals. They can complete more complex tasks and interact with the environment. And using, unlike generative AI tools like ChatGPT, which really respond to a single prompt, an AI agent can reason, plan, and take a series of actions that achieve a larger objective with minimal human intervention. Here's an example. And so we're going through this cycle, this hype cycle, if you will, around AI. And what's really important as you think about any technology disruption is something that Bill Gates said. People often underestimate or excuse me, overestimate what will be achieved in the next 2 years, but they underestimate what will happen in 10. And I think that's absolutely true today. And to put in context, over the past, since 2012, really through 2025, we've been during a period of artificial narrow intelligence. And what I mean by that is we've had progress such as AlexNet, which was the first deep learning models applied to image perception and classification, all through AlphaGo, the transformer architecture, which is the foundation of generative AI, AlphaFold, a recent Nobel Prize winner for predicting protein structure folding patterns, ChatGPT in November 22, GPT-4 in 23, and GPT-5 in 2025 as well. So this is artificial narrow intelligence. When we get to, and we may get to it over the next 5 years or so, artificial general intelligence, it's where we have human levels of understanding by these AIs in most domains and across domains. And that's usually what has been kind of termed or defined it as usually PhD level knowledge of those domains. When we possibly and maybe get to a point of artificial superintelligence is when we have above human understanding of all of those domains and across domains. And these are defined slightly differently by different people, but I think these are the most common definitions. What's interesting and why you see this steep slope as we get towards those points is we may come to a point of explosive learning of these models as they are able to produce output and themselves and learn upon. So this is almost like a recursive kind of explosive view of learning. So that's AI in general, but where does it leave us in terms of education? Over the past few years in the US, there's been a lot of excitement around generative AI and how it might improve this teacher experience, but also the student learning experiences. And there's positive research to show that it can speed up learning by up to 3 months a year in certain reading tasks. And that's led to a lot of attention, a lot of focus, such as the recent presidential executive order, the AI in Education Task Force, and requirements around workplace and college readiness. So there's a lot of excitement in schools to embrace generative AI and students and parents alike. However, there's also a lot of risk, and we want to make sure that we are thinking about these risks very carefully and very purposefully. For example, AI companions can encourage dangerous activity and relationships that are inappropriate with young children and teens. For example, there was a very famous incident recently with Meta or Facebook where their bot behavior rules became exposed. And we could see that there was controversial allowances for AI to engage in romantic or sensual conversations with minors. That was in August 2025. There's also, unfortunately, we have seen incidents where native AI platforms offer insufficient guardrails. There is a very disturbing and unfortunate incident in Southern California in April of 25, where a 16-year-old boy took his own life. And his parents have filed a lawsuit against OpenAI, alleging that ChatGPT conversed with the 16-year-old over months and normalized and encouraged suicidal ideation, as the allegations suggest, and provided methods instead of properly intervening and alerting to that risk. And so all in all, and this is not even speaking about kind of lower level of risk activities such as cheating, which are really important, of course, to be able to have the correct controls in school. But schools just at the moment are seeking visibility and control. And because of that, are being very careful about what they do and do not allow in their networks. And so this is where we hope that Lightspeed can be a good partner. We recently released our Smart AI initiative, where it's safe, managed, appropriate, reported, and transparent. What do I mean by that? It's really that AI interactions are limited to safe tools to prevent exposure to harmful or inappropriate content. The access is managed with flexible controls based on role, age, and purpose. All AI access should be appropriate, promoting learning, ethical use, and digital citizenship. There should be no shortcuts nor misuse. And to make sure that that accountability and that appropriate use is happening, we want all activities to be reported at the right level of granularity to administrators for full oversight and for that full accountability. All AI policies and practices need to be transparent for staff, for families, and for the wider community. We need to be a good partner, as we have been at Lightspeed during the, as YouTube became into the world, social media, even back as far as the internet and Google as well. And so many of the same things and the same ways to set up trusted software and relationships is key in this age as well. And so we're partnering with Google, Microsoft, AWS to help on this. And there's some of the things that you should be aware of already today. We have monitoring and alerts on risky prompts. We filter, we control access, we report on prompts as there are dangerous prompts or inappropriate prompts between a student and an AI. In addition, we provide adoption reports on AI as well, as you see below. And so recently, the 2025 State EdTech Trends Report was released. And for the first year ever, we're seeing that artificial intelligence is the #1 top technology priority for the coming year. And that's above cybersecurity, which was the top technology priority for the past couple of years. And that's, within that, as states think about what are the most important aspects as they make procurement and important procurement decisions around edtech tools that use AI. The safety is top of mind. Usability, interoperability, inclusivity, and evidence-based decision-making are also key, but safety is #1. And I want to end with this. I think my belief in what we're seeing in terms of AI is that it will change a lot of K-12 education. That's both that is both equal parts exciting and scary for schools right now. And I'm sure each and every teacher and administrator is dealing with this on a daily basis. And it's deep in the mire, this as well right now. But just want to say that this is a solvable problem. This is something we can do, and we can do better and better over time. That's why our mission at Lightspeed hasn't changed. We're going to make sure we continue to deliver the visibility and controls that keep kids safe, networks secure, and budget optimized, so that each and every one of you can focus on teaching and learning. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope everyone has a great day.